Hi there, I'm Gloria Reuben,
And I'm Eriq La Salle.
and we are so excited for all of you to be seeing our new movie, A Second Chance at Love. And Hallmark wanted us to ask a couple of questions they sent our way, so we're going to be asking and answering our own questions, which is the first for me. I mean, I do that in my head all the time, but this time it's going to be actually with another human being.
You ask a question, I'll answer. I'll ask a question, you answer, and then I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, awesome.
We'll start there, so we're not, talking to ourselves.
Exactly. Okay, so the first question. In A Second Chance at Love, divorced couple Jack and Brenda reunite in a very modern way. So, Eriq, how about you share how our characters find their way back into each other's lives?
Well, Gloria, I'm glad you asked that question. We actually, it's kind of a cool thing where this is a couple that was together years ago, and now they're brought back together through technology, and this is not a go-to for either one of them. So it's kind of cool to see this couple kind of discover things in this sort of modern world. So our daughter accidentally hooks us up with these dating apps, and we somehow find each other after going through a series of other bad dates, and the story picks up from there.
Great.
Cool. All right, now my turn. All right. So as Jack and Brenda start to date, they discover that the chemistry between them is still out there. It's still great. Without giving out any spoilers, Gloria, because you like to do that. So do we have a favorite scene that we want to see between these two?
Oh, I do have a favorite scene, but I can't talk about it because you don't want me to give a spoiler. Let me just say that. Well, actually, there are a few favorite scenes that I can't wait to see on the screen. But one in particular has to do with movement, music.
You can say dancing.
Shimmy here
to get say dancing. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah, so dancing. Is that what I don't even know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. So I'm looking
all right. And you know what? I agree with you. I look forward to that one. So, all right, cool.
All right. Let's see. Now, Second Chance at Love is a second chance for viewers to see us together. What was it like getting to reunite with me on screen? Be nice.
I will always be nice. Look, it was just such a natural reconnection, because the power of the original connection was, I think, has always been so strong, and the chemistry and the respect and the just enjoying being in each other's presence, without being corny, but just we like hanging out with each other and working together, and we had an opportunity here to do some good work with a good script, some good characters, to hit some notes that we weren't necessarily afforded the luxury of, based on our characters in ER, which were much more serious and dealing with, certain issues. But here we got to really play into the romance and the silliness and the, Gloria's favorite word, the flirtiness of it all. And it was fun, the vulnerability. And at the same time, being able to deal with some very real, mature relationship issues, and explore that. And so it was cool just to hit these different notes and to play in a completely different sandbox, and still just have an amazing time. So
exactly, I love that, to play in a different sandbox. I know, and in this sandbox, you weren't throwing sand in my face.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
All right, here we go. Okay, so while our characters are rediscovering what they once had, let me see. Some of their old challenges start to come into play. All right. Why do we think viewers will connect with Jack and Brenda?
Well, that's a good question, because, I think that when it comes to lengthy relationships, right? And again, these two were together and then they're apart, and then see what happens when they kind of unite, if you will. So when things are, you know, when a relationship goes through not just those changes, but through that length of time, it's you know, I think everybody can relate to a couple of things in particular. You know, has the person grown up emotionally or not? What kind of behaviors are repeated, or what behaviors have changed? Perspective on the world, or, you know, their own behavior personally, of course. And also, I think there's this element that people can relate to of, you know, is this person more open or not? You know, after all of the changes and all of the challenges, and then being reconnected with someone, are they open to the possibility or not? And that kind of ebbs and flows in our story as well in this movie, you know,
Right.
with one of us in particular. So I'm not going to say which one so that people watch and they can figure it out. But I know that, I mean, I know for myself personally, you know, when, especially it's interesting though, because at last fall, you know, two previous romantic interests from years ago came back into my life within like 2 weeks of each other. At that time frame, it was just, wait, what? And all of these questions I literally was asking myself and these men, where those, you know, the emotional maturity, what's changed? Am I even open to want to revisit, you know? So I think all of us have something in our lives, particularly romantically, where those questions are asked, and where it's a little bit, you know, I imagine that when people watch our movie, that they might ask themselves those questions,
Right.
and perhaps come up with their own answers. So,
Cool. Yeah. Right. You get the next question.
Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Last question, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So our next question for you, Eriq. What are your favorite qualities about these characters?
I like the fact that, ironically, I think the thing that the character had challenges with are some of the things that I find most attractive, is that he's attracted to this strong-willed, independent woman. And I think the first time around, I think that caused some issues. But those are, like, you know, great qualities. I think that when they allow themselves to just let go, they're just naturally fun together. They get each other. I think even sometimes when, you know, maybe she doesn't want to get him as much. So I think that, you know, the familiarity of this couple, the emotional familiarity, the intellectual familiarity, the physical familiarity of how much they love dancing together, and how that was a metaphor for them being very much in sync. So these are some really cool qualities, and the ease that they have within them. I think both characters are very comfortable with themselves. I think sometimes it's when they come out of that shell that they have to sort of modulate how to have that ease with each other, particularly after so many years, etc. And it's a beautiful thing to see that quality. But I think one of the strongest qualities is really just the adaptability of the present, and understanding that what sometimes didn't work in the past, that they have enough fortitude and enough honesty and enough trust ultimately, and respect for each other, that they can adapt and they can pivot to something, I think, much more rewarding. So to me, that's like really, really, those are some really cool qualities.
Yeah, that's true. Those are some great qualities. I agree with all of that. And also I like that, you know, that Brenda, you know, she asks some good questions, like, how is this going to be different than last time?
Right.
You know, and also for the both of them, they are willing to take accountability for their part in how things didn't work before.
Right.
That to me that just kind of relates to emotional maturity, you know, that being willing to say, not blame fully, you know, like, again, that takes two to tango, forgive the dance, you know, thing. But that to me is a very great quality to have for both people, to be willing to take a look and go, okay, like I had mentioned before, you know, this is what I would do differently now, or this is my part in why things didn't work out before. So I think that's a great quality too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my last question for you.
Yes.
So, all right, Jack and Brenda, they go on some fun dates as they build their relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from cooking dinner together and going dancing, here's the question. Are there any fun behind the scenes stories you can share without getting both of us arrested?
I know. Yeah, I don't want to get arrested. No, I loved how, I mean, behind the scenes, I don't know. One of my favorite memories actually was when we were doing our dance rehearsal for the first time, right? And there was just, I remember our dance instructors, remember it was kind of a salsa thing, and they were saying, and you were saying, Gloria, you can't lead. Like, let Eriq lead. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't lead. Of course I can lead. I've been leading my own life for decades. I'm the leader here. And then I'm like, okay, I will acquiesce. And then I acquiesce. And then before you know it, like, you're spinning me around and I'm having a great time. So yeah, it was a good behind the scenes thing.
Which again, I think is a metaphor for the story. It's like once there's the trust and the fact that, the partner is not going to abuse their power,
right.
It's much easier to submit to that power.
Right.
And so I think, and that was, I think mutual.
Yeah.
So that was one of my favorite behind the scenes. And we weren't actually even on set, but we all went to dinner, all the four of us cast members. And we just laughed so much. But Gloria was so tired and she was like a kid that didn't want to go to sleep. And she would all of a sudden be up. And then the next thing you know, her head was down and she was up and she's talking. And I've never seen someone go from 100 to 0.
Totally. I would lean on your shoulder.
100, like, all within the span of, like, literally, you talk about a car going from 0 to 60 in 0.4 seconds. She went from 0 to 100, from 100 to 0 to 0 to 100, like 4 times within 4 seconds. And we just all started at some point just crying, laughing, and anyway, so I thought that was, I thought that was just one of my favorite.
That was a fun night. I'll never forget that now that you mentioned that too, because you were sitting to my left, and so it would be like this, and I would literally just like lay my head down on your shoulder and sleep for a couple of seconds.
And then she popped back up and she started going again, and all 3 of us were like, "Who are you?"
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was fun. More to come. More to come. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna do rapid fire, this or that, right?
All right. Here we go. You take the first. I'll follow you. All right.
Okay. So, cook a romantic dinner or try a new restaurant?
Okay. Is it really an either or? I like both of them.
No, it's an either or. This or that.
Why does it have to be? I mean,
just put.
Is it? There's something great about a new restaurant, and there's nothing like a home cooked meal. That's either.
Dude, you can't have it both ways. Just choose one. Just call me dude.
Okay, then I would say cooking at home.
Nice. Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, stay in and watch movies or go out dancing? See?
Stay in and watch movies.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Go for a morning run or enjoy the spring weather at an outdoor cafe?
Cafe.
Oh, man, not me. I'm like, run.
Yes, I know. I've seen you running.
Yes.
Yes. So, yes, but I love spring cafe.
Yeah.
I'll go running after. Anyway, okay. All right, take a getaway trip or plan a staycation.
Oh, getaway. I've had too many staycations over the last 3. Yeah.
That was an easy one for you. Yeah, that was too easy. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Go on a blind date or swipe on a dating app?
How did I get this one?
I don't know, but.
Oof.
You can't go on a dating app. People would be like, hey, aren't you the guy from ER? I tried a dating app once for like 10 days, and it was impossible. I tried to go incognito. Every single guy was like, wait a minute, weren't you an actress? I'm like, man.
All right, I'll go on a blind date, assuming that someone cool who knows me set it up. How about that?
The only way.
All right, cool. All right, last one.
Yeah.
Okay, on a dating app, look out for a unique opener or similar interests.
Again,
I know. Play fair.
If I were on a dating app, what does it look out for a unique opener?
Yeah, okay. Look out for a unique opener or similar interests.
I don't need the unique opener thing. That's like,
really?
No.
Well, what about similar interests?
Similar interests are good, but not unique opener. Unique opener.
Oh, I thought you was choosing. Oh,
no.
All right.
Similar interests.
Okay. There we go.
I think that's it. So we're going to wrap this up, and we're just going to thank everybody for joining us. And we can't wait for you to see the premiere of our new movie, A Second Chance at Love.
Yes, so please tune in to A Second Chance at Love on Saturday, March 26th at 8 Central, only on 8 p.m., 7 Central, only on Hallmark.
Wow, can you believe it's coming up so fast? I can't believe it. All right, so enjoy the movie and tweet along while you're watching with the tweet, the hashtag, A Second Chance at Love. A second chance at love. Then the other hashtag can be, I really love Gloria Reuben. And then there's another hashtag, Eriq La Salle.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, that's it. Shut it down.
Shut it down. Hashtag shut it down.
Hashtag A Second Chance at Love. Okay.